Next item, Finance Committee membership. Mr. Malley?
Well, part of the process on the finance committee, we have a chart statement, and we have two other policies that dictate how the committees operate. Policy 2150 and 2154. As the chair of the committee, I'm bound to notify the board when an opening exists or a conflict. And the relevant portion of the chart statement says, in order to ensure continuity, consistent contribution to the committee's work, members that miss 3 consecutive regular scheduled meetings will be terminated from the committee. And we do have that situation.
And that individual is?
I don't think the name matters at this point.
Have you contacted the individual to understand why they may have been
contacted the board president at the beginning of September.
I understand that. Have you contacted the individual on your committee to try and identify any issues that may have?
I contacted the individual monthly, as I do every other committee member. I send emails letting them know and I send them the agenda ahead of time. And when we have special meetings, I ask what dates are available. To date, I have not received a single correspondence back. The dates in question for the current year, the dates of attendance are probably easier, but February 22nd, February 12th, the individual was present. March 22nd, absent. April 4th, absent. April 12th, present. May 10th, absent. June 27th, absent. July 12th, absent. August 15th, absent. August 29th, absent.
Okay.
So that is 2 meetings out of 9 meetings.
How many months was that out?
The whole year of 2012 to date.
Because it says here that they missed 3 consecutive regularly scheduled meetings. So does that include special meetings that are called? Because I'm just going
No,
off.
it does not. The 3 in question would be June 12th, July 12th, and August 12th. All 3 were regular meetings. And the relevant portions of the policies, 2150 is number 3, 2154 is number 7. And this is the only member that's had this situation.
And was this member notified that they were possibly going to be?
Because of the sensitivity of this, I sought your assistance in.
It's not up to me, Al. I'm not in charge.
The chart statement doesn't tell me to go and notify this person.
Okay, but wouldn't
And you
common
know the
decency
sensitivity
indicate
of
that
it,
or
and
no?
you ignored me.
I didn't ignore you.
Yes, you did.
I just thought that as the chairperson of that committee, you would be responsible enough to go to that individual and let them know.
When I brought this to you, I sent you an email, I walked over to you, and I asked you about that, you said it was too late to put on the agenda.
It was.
Okay, but I had asked for it previous to that. When I sent you an email last week, you ignored me again.
I didn't ignore you. It's on the agenda, Mr. Malley.
Did you put it on the agenda?
I asked Dr. Birkenmeyer if you wish to have it on the agenda.
What happened,
Put it on the agenda.
just to put this in perspective, I did not hear back from you.
Because I had talked to Dr. Birkenmeyer.
For a period of 2.5 weeks. Dr. Birkenmeyer, as of Friday, had not heard back from you on this issue. I asked her to confirm that she was receiving the emails I was sending you, because I copied her on all that.
You and I already discussed it now.
Well, I think
No,
we're getting
you and I
off
have not
topic.
discussed it.
Well, the point is this. The point is that based on who the individual is, there will have to be a fill according to what the charge statement indicates.
My job is to bring it to the board, which I've done.
You should be bringing it to the member when they're in.
No, it says to the board. It's clearly says. I
Okay,
have
so
to
it's
bring it
at
to
the board level, and now what
what's your request? Are you asking to have that member removed per the charge statement? Because if you are, the president can then appoint somebody to do that, and we'll just reappoint them.
Then
But like,
go
why are we
ahead.
doing this?
I have done my job.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
put the policy in there. You remember the discussion we had about the charge
What this
statement?
shows me,
This
okay,
is completely an
This
unproductive
was your
discussion. This is
policy.
a cat and mouse game. We all know who we're talking about here. We all know why this is happening. Let's
Why
just
is
make
it
a
hap-
decision and
okay.
move on.
Tell me why it's
So here's the point.
Hold
Here's-
on, we don't know why it's happening. Why is it happening? It's happening
Because we're following
because a
policy.
member
We're
missed
following-
3 meetings in a row per the
we're
charge statement.
following
So
your policy.
what it's done, Al, is it showed me where some flaws are in the charge statement. Okay, because the thing is the fact is you never went to the individual to talk to them about it. You didn't. And the fact is that you should have, and you didn't. And I'm gonna have to now, we'll say the
No,
person
that is
about the
because
committee,
it's sensitive.
and then as the president, I'm gonna reappoint that individual again, which there's no sense in doing that when this charge statement can indicate that they may, instead of, see, here's where this may comes in again. It's silly that I even have to go through this process.
Mr. Mauer, it's shall, it's not may. It's shall.
No.
It says all, I'm sorry.
It says will, it says they will be terminated,
Which
that's my
is the
point.
same as shall.
Well, it's actually not. Shall is not a yes.
Okay,
Shall
will
is
is
a
maybe?
No,
It
will is
says-
they
This is
will.
what it says. This was the charge statement. You made the biggest deal out of the charge statement. You wanted the policy put in place.
Well, so there's two things I'm gonna do. So as board president, I have to make a nomination, or to fill that position, or just, again.
Well,
So-
hold on a second, before you do that, I'd like to know a little more information here, this is like.
So let me get into it.
Well, hold on a second. The policy says what? It says what? You
In
missed
order
three
to
regular-
ensure, this is the charge statement, in order to ensure continuity and
Because
consistent
I remember
contributions to the committee's
debating it
work.
for a long time. Okay,
What's that?
I remember going over this charge statement at one,
Yeah,
several
okay.
times.
Well, the whole big deal was the attendance because of the fact, and Dave, I think you brought this up too, if a person misses too many meetings, you're out of the loop on what's occurring during.
Okay, but what I find interesting about that is we have a person on the committee who had the same issue last year, okay, that we reappointed to the committee, Mary.
No, she did not.
She had, she
stepped
was
down.
not able.
No, she stepped down.
Well,
She did not.
the
miss
point
the
is
meetings.
she stepped down because she wasn't able to make it, so
She
there's a
stepped
lapse.
down and didn't miss 3 meetings. She
She
stepped
stepped
down
down because of an
because of a
issue.
medical issue.
Okay, that's not the same
And
thing.
it's not the same.
We're all talking about that, so let me ask you a question.
Um,
Is there some reason why this 3 regular board meetings in a row, there's some conflict?
What the time it was.
Is that passed?
Yeah.
So you'd be a regular attender again?
More than likely.
Well, yeah, is there another committee member that would want to do it then or not? Why don't you start that way? I don't care either way, whatever the board does, they do, that's fine. My job was to bring it to the board, which I have done.
Okay, and you've done that.
And I've done.
So I'm going
Okay,
to point out the
and
flaw.
it's
that I
actually,
see
you
in
know,
this.
saying, did I contact the individual?
We
when-
should though, Al.
I contact every committee member every month, more than once.
It's,
I have
Al,
yet
I'm
to
not
receive-
asking if you called them to see how they're doing
Just
and
a
if.
moment. I have yet to receive a correspondence back, once, from any email I've sent. Not once.
Well, Kevin, how come you're not corresponding back to them?
Whether I ask if this date will
They
work,
get it.
everybody does.
No, that's not true. Show me everyone's emails.
You're telling me nobody responds?
I said, I don't think
Anybody that's
everybody
missed a
does.
meeting has always said, I can't make this
You
meeting.
didn't say
I
that.
don't think
The
everybody.
point is this, there's 2 things that I'm gonna end up doing here. The one is, I think we need to change the committee charge to, instead of say will, shall, because this is ridiculous that we have to go through this process, that's number 1. The intent here wasn't to remove, board members from existing committees, because the president appoints them, so they're gonna be on that committee anyway. So that needs to be changed, number 1, that would be my recommendation. I don't know if I have to put it to vote or not.
Well, I don't think so, I think that's a lousy idea.
I think it's ridiculous to have to go through
You
this
think it's
process.
ridiculous? They
Yeah,
usually
they
have
have to go through this
a
process.
policy that says if somebody misses 3 in a row, it should be shall at that point?
Yes.
I mean, there's some favoritism.
Well, shall
going on
means
here.
yes.
Well, you know what, it's a committee of the board, so the board should get to
I'm just
decide.
saying, I'm just
Okay,
telling you
that's
what I
fine.
see.
That's good. The second one is, as you're no longer a member, I would like to appoint you back to the committee.
Which is fine,
So there you go.
as expected.
It's just silly that we have to go through this process. I
It
understand.
is silly,
It
and
follows-
we would not be having this conversation if the meetings weren't
Well,
missed.
you sent a correspondence to Dave.
Twice.
Yeah, this under, and then why didn't you get back to Al?
You know what, Mike, it's not my job.
Just asking.
It is your
Here's my
job,
point.
you're the president.
It's on the agenda, number 1, that's my job. My job as the committee chair is not to deal with the issues that you're having within your committee, Mr. Malley. No, it's not. Regardless of what you're saying, it's not.
It will-
Okay, that's number two.
The
next thing is,
the board at that point.
listen, I'm not in charge of your committee. Okay,
Right.
you're in charge of your committee.
And I'm
So when there are members that are having issues, that is for your resolution.
And I
Okay?
resolved it.
Well-
I brought it to the board.
My point is that you should have shown a little more forthcoming, letting that member know that, you know what, miss one more meeting and there's gonna be an issue. I would expect you to show that consideration to someone.
And you would do the same thing?
Yes, I would, actually, Mr. Malley, I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would. So,
So,
or we can go off your assumption that I would, whichever you prefer.
let's go back to when I sent you the first email.
Mr. Malley,
Hold
I think
on,
this
hold
discussion
on.
is done.
No, it's not
The
done.
appointment's been made, it's over, and there's nothing else we're getting finished. Mr. Malley, there's nothing new, and
Mr.
it's,
Mallard, you made a statement. I sent you an email at the beginning of September. You never responded to me.
I talked to you at that meeting. I talked to you at that
No,
board
you said
meeting.
it's too late. And that
It was too late to put it on the meeting at the time, yes, it was.
But you never responded even once.
I talked to you at that meeting, Mr. Malley. Do I have
It
to
was
send
a
it? do I have to send a
10-second
follow-up
conversation,
email?
you said it's too late.
And it was, at that time, Mr. Malley. I don't know what else you're looking for.
I'm looking for direction from the president.
Okay. Okay, here's my direction. The next time this situation occurs, please, feel free to actually let the person know that they're near the point that it reaches us, so maybe we don't have to do that
Are you
again.
telling me that the